Hi Year 7, Mr. Tapley here for your next lesson of Year 7 Humanities. This lesson we are looking at developing our understanding of a very significant an event, a festival that's had an impact on ancient Greece but also into our modern world. So we're developing our understanding of the origins, so where did it come from, and the significance, why was it important, of the Olympic Games in ancient Greece. Success criteria is to outline the purpose, so why did it exist, of the Olympiad in ancient Greece, which was just another name for it, and the impact of this event on the people, the culture, and the history. So, in modern athletics, we were supposed to have Olympics this year. Actually, I was really looking forward to that. The Olympic Games in Tokyo 2020. Oh well. In modern athletics, the most significant global competition is the Olympic Games, attracting athletes and spectators from around the world to compete in a range of sports. These sports include running, so sprinting or marathons, high jump, long jump, swimming, basketball, gymnastics, and cycling, to name a few. And representing your nation and winning a medal is considered a tremendous honor. Not many people can say that they are the best in the world at anything. We've actually got a Year 9 student, Nicholas Lum. You might have seen something on Newsfeed, on social media about young Nicholas from Glen Waverley Secondary College, who is very close to making the Olympic team for Australia in table tennis, which is really cool. I can't say I've ever met an Olympian, so hopefully he gets in. The modern Olympics that we see today originated in ancient Greece, much like many of the things in our modern society. That's why Athens, why Greece were known as, the birth of Western civilization, the birthplace. Because all these amazing things came from ancient Greece, including the Olympics, and they originated in ancient Greece in 776 BCE. City-states would hold many religious festivals to honor and respect the gods and goddesses, not just the Olympics. There were dozens and dozens for each of the gods, really. But the most important was held every 4 years at the town of Olympia, which is where the name comes from, obviously, to honor the leader of the gods, Zeus. Remembering again that from our religion and mythology lesson that the gods and goddesses were thought to live on Mount Olympus. So you can see where these names are kind of connected. So the Olympic festival was small at first. There was only one event, and it was largely local competitors. However, by the 6th century BCE, so that's roughly 100 years later, individuals from all of ancient Greece, so dozens and dozens of city-states, arrived to compete for the honor of their homeland. So Sparta number 1, Thebes number 1, Athens number 1, and to earn the respect of the gods. So they thought that by attending this religious festival, competing to honor the gods, that they would earn the respect of the gods. They'd be watching down like, wow, he's really good at javelin. I respect that. I'm going to make sure he has a good life. It was agreed by all city-states that during the Olympiad, again, just another name for the festival that was held every 4 years, during the Olympiad, any violence or war would be suspended. So you could not go to war during the Olympiad, which was really a recognition of how significant the event was, that all the city-states who had their similarities and their differences, who had violent conflicts, we saw Athens and Sparta have the Peloponnesian War a couple lessons ago. Despite that, they all agreed, it's the Olympics, guys, no more fighting. So they would temporarily press pause and then go on to their business. And the reason it was so significant was this was the first major event that brought people together from different city-states, different people. And this festival was one of the first major events, I guess, that contributed to a shared identity, going back to what we did in civics in term 1, a shared identity for the ancient Greek people. Couple images. I really should have made it more clear. Well, there's a little play button. Couple images, but this one's a video. So that's a quick 3-minute video just about the origins of the Olympics. So it talks about where it came from, what it was, and some of the major events. So I recommend go and check that out. The main events in the ancient Olympics there were a few of the similar ones, running races, sprints, long distance. We don't have chariot races anymore, where you get in a chariot, a horse-drawn chariot, and race around a track. So some similar events, some different ones. We obviously didn't have shooting. They have shooting at the modern Olympics, not an ancient Olympics. There was even a race in the ancient Greece Olympics where competitors ran a race in full military armor. So like armor, shield, helmets, sword, spear, whatever. The other events included boxing, wrestling, javelin. All of those are in the modern Olympics as well. Long jump, discus, and the pentathlon. So pent 5, basically they did 5 events at the same time. These events were the main attraction of the festival. So it was a religious ceremony at first, that's how you started off. Followed by these competitions. They would have plays, poetry, music. It was a big event. They even had merchants who would sell souvenirs. I don't know what an ancient Greek souvenir would look like, but I thought that was interesting. The Olympics continued. Hundreds of years it continued until 393 CE. So not BCE when it started, so before the Common Era. So it went all the way down from 776 to 775, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we got to year 0, and then we went up to CE. After ancient Greece was overtaken by the Romans made a few changes, and eventually the Romans actually got rid of the Olympics in 393 CE when they abolished or eliminated the Olympics because this bloke, Roman Emperor Theodosius, was Christian, and he believed that anything that wasn't Christian, so wasn't his particular religion, was evil. So we wanted to get rid of it. So he opposed all pagan, is the word for a traditional or an ancient religion. So these non-mainstream religions, such as the ancient Greeks had. He opposed all those religious festivals, and he got rid of the Olympics because that's what it was initially. It was a festival for Zeus, for the king of the gods. And we didn't see the Olympics until 1896 CE. A few years later. So the lesson activities for this lesson. Question 1. Don't need the textbook for this. You're just using the slides and then this little website down here, but I'll get to that in a minute. Question 1. Why do you believe the people of ancient Greece held religious festivals such as the Olympiad? So I mentioned before, there were dozens and dozens of religious festivals such as the Olympiad. Why did they bother holding these things? Why was it important to have these celebrations, these honorific meetings and festivals for their gods and goddesses? Question 2. How could the Olympic Games impact relationships between the different city-states in ancient Greece? So think about the positive and the negative impact on these city-states coming together, competing for honor and glory, etc., etc. So some of that information you can get from the slides. Some of it, you can actually go and check out this website first before you do any of the questions, but I've just attached it to question 3. So a couple sentences for 1 and 2. For question 3, I specifically want 3 interesting facts about the Olympic Games from this website here. Using your note-taking and research skills, you're going to click on that link, and then you're going to navigate. I wouldn't mess around with any of this stuff. That's more about the modern stuff. I've deliberately sent you to the ancient one. But you can see lots of information that you can find on this website. So what you want to do is go through some of these different tabs here. So if I click on history, for example, it talks about the influence of mythology, so religion. That's our boy Zeus there. Some of the ancient stuff, some information. So you're going to use your elite research and note-taking skills to go through there and find 3 interesting facts. Don't pick the first 3 sentences. Have a bit of a look. There's not too much to do this lesson, so you should have plenty of time to finish those questions and to do a bit of research, find something interesting about the Olympic Games from ancient Greece. That's all we're doing today, guys. Next week is your final week of, just giving you some spoilers, your final week of ancient Greece topics, I guess. And then the week afterwards, we'll be attempting to revise and to complete the CAT. Then the final week of the term, because you've got 2-3 weeks left. Final week of the term, I'll probably treat you guys to a movie. And then that way there'll be some spare time for people who didn't complete the CAT on time to get that in before the end of the holidays, or the start of the holidays. But anyway, I'll talk about that next week. I hope you guys are well. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, best of luck and cheers.